car from car-revs daily in the 2019 Lexus ES350 Ultra Luxury. So this is the top ES350 trim line for 2019 in this redesigned Lexus bestseller. So, I want to talk about a couple things in this review, mainly about how amazingly comfortable this vehicle is. The ES gets a little bit of a bad reputation among enthusiasts because, it's Lexus's only front drive sedan, and it is a platform sibling with the Camry. So, it's sort of thought of as maybe a second-class Lexus, but basically that's not the case anymore, for a lot of reasons. First and foremost being, this car is so luxurious. I mean, it is so ultra luxe that ultra luxury is the perfect trim name, because it really is just a dream. It's a dream boat. So smooth and so comfortable at all times, and but really well equipped and very stylish. I mean, you'd have to be a real car enthusiast to be able to distinguish the new LS versus this new ES in its design. Really shapely, rear fenders are highlights, as well as fresh nose and overall redesign for the glass house and many of the signature elements of it. So ES has been around since the beginning of Lexus. It was the sister car to the LS for very good reason, because it really addresses all of the practical needs of luxury car shoppers in a really effective way. Sure, it doesn't match the prestige of the German makes, with the front engine rear wheel drive layout, but at this point, is that really critical to buyers? For a lot of them, the answer is no. And what Lexus has been able to do for this latest generation is imbue the vehicle with a lot of the latest really sort of Teutonic handling nature that is so great in the IS and the GS and the new LS into this front-wheel drive vehicle. So what does that mean? Basically, it means the steering is really feelsome but meaty. It's not floaty. This ultra luxury model, for example, has special lateral damper additions that help minimize side-to-side body roll in a very effective way, while keeping the ride absolutely buttery soft. The vehicle's totally silent. Sorry, that was my backpack in back. Totally silent. I mean, it's just a creamy, nice cruiser that does everything well. Big back seat, big trunk, all the latest conveniences and modernities for comfort and everything else. So it really does all that stuff very, very well, and it actually genuinely handles pretty sportily these days, in addition to all of that goodness. So we've got adjustable modes here. I'm going to go into sport, so that changes our... I'm not really sure what that is. That might be my bag in the trunk. So basically we can engage the sport here, which changes the display for the reconfigurable gauge cluster, and to a white background and a rev counter with a digital speedometer. A little more aggressive, and then you've got normal and then eco options as well. So going into sport, it immediately feels a little bit more eager. The steering turn in is a little bit quicker, and there's a little bit more bite around corners. But even in its most luxurious setting, I mean, this car is not like the silly thing you think of when you think of it's really just not a front wheel drive. There's no understeer, there's no muss, no fuss. Driven in 7, 8, 10s driving, you really have to push this thing to the absolute limit for it to start betraying its front drive character. Otherwise, I mean, it's got the well damped, incredibly comfortable magic carpet level ride that is a Lexus trait down pat. It might even have it better than some of the other the GS or the IS, for example, for sure, and maybe better than the LS. So LS has a lot of other priorities, including those giant wheels, and so ES just does a really good job of balancing how to be the latest and fit in with the latest Lexus drive ethos, how it feels and how it makes the driver feel, while at the same time checking so many boxes for owners. Another big thing that Lexus does very, very well at is making technology that's usable and approachable and functional. You know, what good is having the most sophisticated systems in like in an E-Class or even a C-Class if you can own the car for 3 years and you never bother to figure out how to work that stuff? I mean, you may as well not even have it. So Lexus has done a great job in having technology that is comprehensible and very simple to use. So whether that's this giant 12-inch screen, you know, with a tactile touchpad here, you know, or some of the controls for like the climate control and the seating and some of the other luxury goodies. They just have done this really well and made a car that's any other luxury brand would be so proud to have in their stable. So the new ES looks better, it drives better, and it's still great value. So from a price of like $38,000 or $39,000 as a base, we go up to about $42,000 for this ultra luxury, and then with options like the pretty speedy 302 horsepower V6 with an 8-speed automatic transmission and paddle shifters. So for this ultra luxury, it's about a 44-ish price that then rises with the Mark Levinson audio that we have in here and some of the other option packages to about 48 or 49. So for a vehicle that has such a big back seat and is so reliable and so practical, and as well as being just so luxurious and easy, this ES checks a ton of boxes. I'm a big fan of the car. I mean, in terms of like if you want an easy, like just calming road trip experience, I can't think of a better vehicle. So I'm a big supporter of the ES, and anybody who is dismissing it based on its engine and drive layout is doing themselves a disservice, because for all intents and purposes, front drive has no demerits and really only upsides in terms of you know, traction and vehicle packaging. So, you know, it lets the back seat be bigger, trunk be bigger, and it lets them really make this vehicle as affordable as it is, because they can save money by sharing some core componentry with Camry. And by the way, these days almost no Camrys have the V6. It's like 5%. So, you know, this is still a pretty unique offering in the marketplace. And the last little cool element that I'm pleased to report is that this generation of ES is the first one to be assembled in the United States from start to finish. So it's not just like done from like a kit or something. Like they literally they brought in they have a whole new supplier base around I think the factory's in Kentucky that is now just been brought up to Lexus standards, to the point where they've even like they can do mirror images cut down the middle where you see like what the factory looks like in Kentucky and what it looks like in Japan, and they're exactly the same, and the quality feels still so stellar and so just Lexus perfect. I mean, you would never notice where it was built as a problem. That just knowing that it's built in the United States just makes you feel a little more patriotic, you know, and a little more it's great that Lexus is investing in you know, in jobs and as a corporate citizen in the United States, and that your dollars are staying in the country. So very, very charming car, very attractive, and of course easy and ultra luxurious inside. Thanks for watching. This is Tom Burkhardt from Car-Revs. We'll see you next time.